Wilkes Barre është një qytet në qarkun Lucerne i vendosur në pjesën verilandore të Pensilvanisë. Shtrihet përgjatë lumit Susquehanna dhe është pjesë e zonës statistikore metropolitane Scranton, Wilkes Barre, Hazleton. Ky qytet është i njohur për historinë e tij industriale, skenën kulturore dhe mundësitë rekreative në natyrë, duke përfshirë edhe rezortet e skijimit. Wilkes Barre është themeluar në vitin 1769 nga njerëzit që kishin ardhur prej një shteti fqinj, të quajtur Connecticut. Emrin e morin nga politikanët britanik të asaj kohe John Wilkes dhe Isaac Barre, të cilët quheshin si porkrahës të mëdhenj të pavarësisë së Amerikës. Nga viti 1800 e deri në mesin e viteve të 70 të shekullit kaluar, ky qytet shquhej për rritjen e mirëqenies dhe ekonomisë falë minierave të qymyrit antracit, të cilat shërbenin për furnizimin me lëndën e parë të prodhimit të energjisë elektrike. Prandaj, ky qytet njihej me emrin Diamond City për shkak të minierave që kishte. Pas tragjedisë së ndodhur në minierën e Knoxit në vitin 1959, ky qytet u dëmtua rënd ekonomikisht duke u mbyllur minierat pa afat dhe rritja e papunësisë kishte ndikuar tek familjet e minatorëve që të shpërnguleshin nga kjo zonë. Në këtë qytet janë dy institucione të larta arsimore, Wilkes University dhe King's College, të cilat kanë kontribuar dukshëm në revitalizimin e ekonomisë. Për të ndihmuar zhvillimin ekonomik dhe dyfishimin e vlerës së patundshmërisë, kanë qenë shqiptarët prijes në këtë drejtim dhe njihen vetëm për të mirë, edhe pse është një komunitet me jo më shumë se 103 veta gjithsejt. Më i dalluari nga shqiptarët e këtij komuniteti është Hysni Syla, me prejardhjen nga Drenica e Kosovës, i cili me punën e tij kishte arritur që të krijonte lidhjet dhe besimin të banorët vendas, duke u marrë me ndërtimin dhe riparimin e shtëpive dhe ndërtesave që deri më tani ishin të abandonuara. Tani Hysni Syla ka arritur që të merret me projekte më të mëdha, për të cilat nuk krenohet vetëm komuniteti shqiptar, por edhe banorët dhe udhëheqësit lokal të Wilkes Barre me rrethinë. Me projektin e tij të fundit për hapjen e hotelet më të madh në Wilkes Barre dhe qyteteve në rrethinë, ku do të punësohen me qindra punëtorë dhe njëkohësisht do të ndihmojnë në rritjen e turizmit në këtë zonë, përpos falënderimeve që morën nga kryetari i bashkisë së qytetit, Mayor Brown, dhe u mor si shembull i ringjalljes së ekonomisë së qytetit, ai po ashtu mori si shpërblim nga qyteti një grant prej $10 milion amerikan për të përfunduar këtë projekt me sukses. Kjo është hera e parë që një shqiptar në Amerikë merr kaq shumë përkraje dhe falënderime për projektet zhvillimore. Albanian American Vision ishte prezent në mbledhjen e bashkisë së qytetit, ku u dhurua grantin nga majori i qytetit. Në vazhdim do të ndiqni emisionin ekskluziv kushtuar kësaj ngjarje që përbën histori suksesi tek shqiptarët e Amerikës.
Welcome. I'd like to acknowledge the following public officials in attendance today, along with many of our City Hall employees. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge Senator Marty Flynn. Now, as politicians, you'll understand, we never stop people from clapping, so anytime you want to clap, just go ahead. Right, Marty? Eddie? Okay. Also, State Representative Eddie Day-Fashinsky. Council Chairman Tony Brooks. Vice Chairman Jessica McClay. Mike Belusco. Stan Merren. Bill Barrett. We also have our wonderful City Controller, Tony Thomas. Tony? Okay. We also have Kathy Payne in the back, City Clerk. I wasn't going to forget you, Kathy. Also, I'd like to introduce some of my team. We have wonderful, the best city administrator in the state of Pennsylvania. Where is he? Charlie McCormick. Charlie, you got more applause than I did. Huh?
You're a very knowledgeable group here.
Also, we have our city attorney, Tim Henry. We're very safe today because we have a large contingent of leadership of the police department. Gentlemen. Also, Chief Coffey. Our Fire Chief, Jay Delaney, could not be here today, but our Assistant Fire Chief, Alan Clappett, is here. I'm looking for a familiar face. Is Hank Radulski here? Where is he? Where is he? Well, you hiding behind Alex there. Our Health Director, Hank Radulski. Our Community Economic Development Director, Joyce Sikoski. Where's Joyce? And once again, our Grants Coordinator, Mark Barry. I want to thank everyone for joining us today, this afternoon, to announce a revival of a long-awaited project. I'm proud to announce, along with Mr. Sam Syla, who's been a proven business developer in our area, and Mr. George Albert, a dedicated developer of economic projects benefiting the city of Wilkes-Barre, that our city will welcome a new 110-room hotel and banquet facility. It will be located at 46 Public Square. The hotel will be a milestone for Wilkes-Barre. The project will attract tourists, business travelers, and large events while creating good jobs for our residents. It's a perfect fit for our city's vibrant downtown and strategic location, making Wilkes-Barre a go-to destination for northeastern Pennsylvania. Now, as mayor, I'm extremely happy to partner with Mr. Syla and Mr. Albert to complete this project. And this has been derailed for several years. I'm the mayor for 6 years, and we've been trying to build a hotel for 6 years. Well, guess what? It's happening finally. Earlier today, I opened up the 69th Fine Arts Fiesta on Public Square. I walked around to meet the artisans and vendors who traveled distances to come to Wilkes-Barre. I met one gentleman that drove in from Michigan. So they're all over the country, they're coming for the Fine Arts Fiesta. Many commented on the improvements in the city in recent years, which made me feel enormously proud of my administration's accomplishments. I believe that's very fitting that today we make this announcement that a hotel will be added to our downtown business district, which will welcome future artists, and attendees of the Fine Arts Fiesta, as well as parents attending their college-age children's graduation and ceremonies for Wilkes and King's College. Even concert goers. Now, you guys know that we have a concert on the square every year. This year it's going to be August 23rd. And this way people can come to the concert on the square and enjoy a beautiful hotel that they can come to and have a nice dinner. There'll be a 500-room convention center there. So if those of you that are not married and you want to get married, you can get married there, or you can have a convention there. Am I right, Sam? And also a fine dining restaurant will be there. A gym will be included in the building, but there'll be adequate parking for the 110 rooms in the hotel. And then also, Bob, if you want to get married, you can actually get married and have it there, and then all your people can park across the street in the parkade. There's a large parkade across the street. So what I'd like to do now is I would like to ask Senator Marty Flynn to come up and say a few words. Senator?
Thanks, Mayor Brown. It's always a pleasure to be down here, and I'm committed to pooling state resources along with State Representative Pashinsky into making sure this project comes to fruition and gets done. And it's really a need that Wilkes-Barre's had for almost over 50 years, I'd say, right, Mayor? You know, this downtown needs this. The demand has been there, and it hasn't been fulfilled. So we're here to make sure this project is a go, pool what state resources and grants we can to get this project done and make Wilkes-Barre better than it already is. You know, the downtown is really buzzing. The investment in downtown has been historic year after year for the past 10 years, and this will be a wonderful addition to downtown Wilkes-Barre, and we're interested in getting this to the finish line. So, thank you for having me here, and it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to ask State Representative Eddie Day Pashinsky to say a few words also. Eddie? No singing, just talk.
August 2nd will be the reunion dance at it. No. Well, I know that we're all here for one reason. We love Wilkes-Barre. We love the city. We love the environment. We love the people. And there's nothing that's more fulfilling for someone like myself to be able to work with outstanding leaders. And I mean that sincerely, speaking for Mayor Brown and my colleague, Senator Flynn. It's always a pleasure. We always try to get together and figure out how we can make improvements. Where are we going to get the dollars to make those improvements? And then we collaborate. There's always some humor in those negotiations and collaborations, but the bottom line is, I think what's going to occur with this development is going to be very, very important, very special to Wilkes-Barre. And also to the surrounding areas. Talking to the students and the parents from Wilkes and Kings that travel here, they're looking for that kind of a facility. And then that facility you can count on for 500 people at an event is very special. So for me, it's just an honor to serve, and it's a pleasure to serve with Senator Flynn, Mayor Brown. They're two outstanding individuals, leaders that the door is always open, and we always love getting together and procrastinating, and then finally, boom. We're going to make this happen, right, Senator? Right, Mayor? Exactly. It's an honor. Thank you. Mayor?
Now, I know you're tired of hearing me talk, so I'm going to ask Mr. Sam Syla and George Albert to come up and actually share some information about the new hotel with you. And so Sam, George, would like to come up?
Mayor, thank you. Really appreciate your time today and putting this effort together. Senator Flynn, thank you very much. Eddie Day Pashinsky, State Rep, much appreciated. All the members of council and all the support staff from the city of Wilkes-Barre, we thank you very much for this opportunity. This project, as the mayor said, has been in the making for many, many years. We've been involved with Wilkes-Barre City through now this third administration, trying to bring a hotel project downtown. And it's got to be at least 15 years since we've had this on our desk and trying to accomplish this feat. So today we're proud to firmly announce that this project will move forward at 46 Public Square, which is the former Mart's building on the corner of North Main Street and the square itself. Mr. Syla is the primary developer, and we were tasked by the mayor to come in and bring this project to fruition. It's been a very fast and challenging road. So essentially Mr. Syla was working on a hotel project at the corner of North River Street and Market Street. And over the years, the project kept evolving. That project was on the books probably for 6 or 7 years, and it was slowly moving along, and then we got hit with COVID. COVID changed the dynamic of the hotel industry in many ways. Number one, obviously everybody knows what COVID did to their own families and experiences, but the hotels essentially shut down, ultimately making it almost impossible or very challenging to obtain financing for the project, and ultimately resulting in cost increases of almost 100% for construction. So when that project was originally established, the estimated investment was close to $20 to $25 million. Most recently, just at the beginning of this year, that project was estimated over $40 million, resulting in a room rate charge of over $300 a room night in Wilkes-Barre. So it just didn't make sense. And the mayor had reached out to me and tasked me, George, can you come in and help, resurrect or put this project back together? And Sam was passionate. He was desperate to commit to building a hotel in Wilkes-Barre City and getting this project done. So literally within the past 4 to 6 weeks, we established a new location, secured the property, which we closed on today, and are moving forward to start construction early this fall. I have a short press release that I could hand out when we're done with our presentation, but the project is going to involve the redevelopment of 46 Public Square. The building is 7 stories. It's over 1.5 acres of land. It has over 100 surface parking spaces located in the rear as outlined in the red highlights as we speak now. We're going to have, first floor is 25,000 square feet. We're going to have a 500-room, 500-person capacity banquet facility. We're also going to be relocating a fine dining restaurant into this facility. We'll have a fitness center on the 2nd floor, a lot of back-of-house items on the 2nd floor. But this will be a premier flag location, nothing of the likes which Wilkes-Barre has seen in this area in its history. So we're very excited to make this happen, and we couldn't have done it without the cooperation of the city, our state representatives, city council, and pretty much everybody involved in the city. And the reason I say that is, as everybody knows, to get things done anymore, it's a community effort. Everybody has to work together. And the mayor has led that charge from day one. He has motivated our team and the team of state reps and everybody that's involved to work together to accomplish this project. This is not a sole effort on behalf of myself, Sam, or anybody else. This is a group effort, and it's taken the whole group to put it together. And we love to see those projects. Everything that we've been involved with the city has always been a group effort. And I'll let Sam say a few words, and I have a press release, and anybody that has any questions could feel free to reach out and give me a call at any time. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you, George. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much, because I told you all the time in the newspaper, my English is not good enough, but my job is good. For 6 years, you try and you help us a lot to do this project. Senator, thank you so much. Mr. Pashinsky, thank you so much. We're working hard for almost 6 years. And today I am very happy. No, just for me, for myself, which I do something. But 6 years ago, I promised here to everybody, to people, we're gonna do hotel. Everything explained very good to George Albert. Was COVID, after COVID is changed everything. I am happy because hotel is gonna be in the center city, Wilkes Barre. God bless you, everybody. God bless United States. Thank you for helping us for this project.
Thanks, Sam. And one last word before I depart the podium that I failed to mention, but this project is also, I mentioned community and working together. We couldn't accomplish the feat that we want ahead of us without everybody involved in this room, but in addition to that, we wouldn't be able to accomplish the completion of the project on our time frame without bringing in our union brothers and friends to work with us on this project. We intend to work with organized labor, and particularly the local unions. We want to bring in as many local workers we can for this project. And that was an important part of our project because we need to move quickly, and we have approximately 85,000 square feet of renovation work that we need to get done within a year's time frame.
Well, as George said, he has a handout for the media. If you have any questions, I know in the handout it answers a lot of questions, but folks, understand what this means to the city of Wilkes-Barre. It's going to be something that is going to be amazing, and we'll be very proud of it. We've been looking for this for the 6 years I've been mayor. Sam, George, thank you for your cooperation in getting this done. Folks, this is going to be a major, major economic development plus for the city. New jobs, okay? Not just the jobs in the construction field, but permanent jobs, people that will be working at the hotel. So thank you, everyone, and I appreciate you being here today. Well, welcome to Wilkes Barre. We're happy to have you here. Thank you. And with my good friend and partner, Sam. And not only opening the door, I'm welcoming you with my hands. I welcome you with a handshake from the mayor. That I want to work with you. Wilkes Barre City is blossoming into a brand new city with new investors like Sam, other people that he has brought from Albania here, investors. Yes, I welcome the investors. I welcome to come in, partner with the mayor and my team, and we will help make it as easy as possible. Well, the first thing I would say is I would ask them to make an appointment. We could talk about what projects do they want to do. Then I would bring my friends, Senator Flynn, Mr. Kuczynski from the state, and we would sit down with my grant writer and see what grants would be available to them that we could apply for. My grant writer will actually help write the grants, so we'll provide that service. But then we'll get the state representative and the state senator, two very powerful people in the state of Pennsylvania. And they deal with the grants. They help us to secure grants. So that'll be very important. As a team, we'll be a team working together. So I welcome investors in Albania. Come to Wilkes Barre. You'll find a mayor that wants you to come and invest.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. It was nice talking. My friend. My friend.
He's doing it. He's already invested downtown by having Toscano, Cafe Toscano, and the fact that he wants to invest into a hotel and bring that kind of investment and economic activity to downtown Wilkes Barre is huge. You know, what it's going to do for the downtown, what it's going to do for the labor unions that build it, the jobs. It's just going to put a great focus on this part of Northeast Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So what is your thought about this project?
I have nothing but good thoughts, nothing but good things to say. I have a great deal of appreciation for Sam and for George for investing in the city of Wilkes Barre. This is a beautiful area, a lot of good people, and that facility, that hotel, is vital to the benefit for all the people that come here, that visit. We have two great colleges, universities. A lot of parents from out of town come here. And instead of having to travel X number of miles away, now they can reside right here in Wilkes Barre. Walk to Wilkes, walk to Kings. Oh, we have a beautiful theater with outstanding entertainment. They can also enjoy that. We have excellent restaurants. Sam has a great Cafe Toscana, outstanding. So what it's going to do is it's going to vibrate. It's going to bring more people to the center city. And I think once they come here, they're going to like it. They may even want to move here eventually. So that hotel is going to play a major role in that positive relationship. I would say Northeast Pennsylvania has a great deal of potential. And the reason I'm saying that is because geographically we're located in a part of Pennsylvania in a network system of Route 81, Route 80, the Turnpike, where this area is going to grow in population. I also sit on the Center for Rural Pennsylvania. It's a state organization that travels throughout Pennsylvania into the rural areas to find out what their needs are, what's working, what's not working. And right now there's a great deal of concern because the rural areas are going to lose population and the urban areas, similar to ours, are going to gain. And we're talking a good 4 to 5% increase over the next 10, 15 years. So the area is going to grow, again, because of that geographic area. Again, this area, a lot of good, hardworking people, and the cost of living here compared to, your larger cities like New York is a fraction of what it would cost you in New York. So it's a great living style here.
Dhe më në fund, pse kemi ardhur këtu? Kemi ardhur për këtë projekt multimilionsh, një projekt që i tërë qyteti është ngrit në këmbë dhe e kanë aprovuar me kënaqësinë më të madhe duke e falendëruar investitorin Hysni Sylaj. Hysni Sylaj njihet në komunitetin shqiptar-amerikan për aktivitetet e tij, njihet në Kosovë për luftën, njihet në tërë Shqipërinë, në tërë gjitha vendet shqiptare për veprimtarinë e tij patriotike. Tash si biznesmen. Si të duk sot kjo, se kjo është një arritur shumë e madhe për një shqiptar në Amerikë?
Faktikisht është një arritur dhe jam vërtet i gëzuar sepse për këtë projekt punoj që 6 vjet. Po këto është vend i bekuar. Faleminderit gjithmonë duke filluar nga mayor, senatori, reprezentatuesi e governmentit që më kanë ndihmuar në këtë projekt, se po të mos ishte ndihma tyre, ka qenë e pamundshme. Na i kanë ofruar dikon mbi 10 milion grant për këtë projekt. Edhe unë bje shumë mirë që po realizohet, janë shumë të kënaqur me punën e shqiptarëve që po e bëjmë këto. Është një projekt ndër më të mëdhaj që është bënë në 30 vitet e fundit.
Dhe llogaritet që do të jetë hoteli më i mirë në këtë zonë, në këto qytete të Pennsylvanisë këndej.
Faktikisht do të jetë hoteli më i mirë në 3-4 qytete, në Scranton, në Wilkes Barre, në Kingston, në disa area tjera. Kemi të konfirmume, o do të jetë Hyatt Hotel apo Marriott Hotel. Këto të dyja kanë dëshirë për me ardhen.
Sa dhoma i ka ky projekt, ky hotel?
Ka mbi 110 dhoma, besoj bile ma mërmendja kanë me dalë 130 dhoma, edhe do ta ketë sallën për 400-500 vetë për dasma, po ashtu ka me pasën një restorant tjetër të veçantë, ka disa pjesë të tjera që mund të shfrytëzohen për biznese tjera brenda hotelit.
Ju keni edhe projekte tjera këtu e pasha dhe majori foli me shumë respekt për ju dhe shumë Amerikan, po i quaj këtu, shumë vendas që janë të këtuit, folën shumë mirë për ty derisa i takova rrugës edhe disa në korridor. Tash të më thuaj, çka do t'ju thuash shqiptarëve tjerë që duan të investojnë në vendet si Wilkes Barre?
Qazim faktikisht unë ka më shumë se që 11 vjet faktikisht jam këtu. Për 11 vjet ju kom thirrë me shokë, me gjithëve shqiptarë, kanë e kom njoft e janë investone në këtë zonë, Wilkes Barre, Kingston, Scranton. Imagjino këto shtëpia 2 familje kanë qenë me 10-15.000-20.000 dollar. Me o dashke me renovue se ishin të pabanume, po ishtë diçka falas. Tash ato shtëpia që kanë qenë 20-30.000 ta quajmë, janë 200.000. Shqiptarët kanë investuar shumë. I ditë të i folën me Qemajle Ahmetin e me një pjesë të madhe shqiptarëve, kanë arritën mbi 500 apartamente shqiptarë që kanë investuar.
Do me thënë këtu veç po rritet komuniteti shqiptar.
Këtu kur kam ardhur në 2014 e pyeti për herë parë Qemajle Ahmetin, që kishte restorant Toskana, edhe vllajën e tij shefshetën, thash, sa shqiptar jeni? Më thash 7. Për 11 vjet janë banën më shumë se 100. Po shtohen çdo ditë u kriju një komunitet i vogël shqiptar në Wilkes Barre, në Kingston, kalojna shumë mirë me zvete, ndihmojnë njëri tjetrin me aq sa kena mundësi. Krijojnë një punë, besa shpesh e rishtyj edhe me zor për më kapën me real estate, me bleje shtëpia me rregullu apartamente.
Durim suksese.
Faleminderit shumë
suksese. Pra një qytet si Wilkes Barre, që dikur ishte i njohur si qyteti i minjerave në Amerikë, sot është bërë si qyteti i atraksionit turistik. Ka ski resort, ka vende të ndryshme ku njerëzit vinë për të pushuar në malet e Pokonosit. Dhe shqiptarët janë duke u rritur në numër dhe në investimet e tyre në qytetin e Wilkes Barre, duke ju falendëruar atyre që u përmendi Hysni Syla emrat, por edhe Hysni Sylës që është njëri ndër liderët e investimeve në këtë qytet, i cili përkrahet aq shumë nga qyteti, nga qytetarët, nga administrata, nga udhëheci, nga majori dhe nga gjithë vendasit që janë këtu.
Hi, I'm Peter Malotta. You are watching Albanian American Vision.
I can tell you my experience with the Albanian community has been very positive. What I found generally about the people themselves, that they're very energetic, they're ambitious, and they are really hard workers. I knew, I think, 2 Albanian people before I met Mr. Syla, and they owned a restaurant, and I never really thought too much about it because this area is a melting pot, like the rest of a good part of America. We have all different ethnicities here. A lot of Polish and Slovakian and Irish and Italian and so forth. And everybody came here with a dream to make a difference, to make a good living for their families and to prosper. And I see a lot of those same qualities in a lot of the Albanian people that I've met. And I've met a lot since Sam came here. I met him in 2014, and I sold him his first property here, which is the building actually we're doing this interview in. And it's really funny, there's a funny story about that, is that I go back almost 5 years before I met Sam, I got the listing to try to sell this building. It was a former bank headquarters building. And then there were 2 buildings attached to it. It was all one building but 3 together. And it wasn't a very attractive building for a lot of people, and I was having a very difficult time trying to sell it. Actually, I was trying for almost 5 years, and I just couldn't get anybody to take the gamble on a building of this magnitude. So the day that Sam came in, I got a call to come down and meet this gentleman. I came down and I saw Sam, and he must have had about an entourage of about 10 people with him, taking photographs, and I'm trying to think, what is going on here? I said, is this man a movie star or something? Because he was, he just had a lot of fellow Albanians that were with him, and he was at the time contemplating the move from investing in Philadelphia, the largest city, and taking a look at smaller cities in America. And I'm just glad he came to Wilkes Barre. But when he looked at the building, he just loved the architecture on the outside of the building, and I asked him, I said, Sam, let's go inside, take a look at the building. I said, most of the electricity, the former owner, the owner, didn't pay his electric bill, so there aren't any lights, there aren't a lot of windows, and I don't know how much you're going to see with a flashlight. He said, I don't need it. I said, I'm going to buy the building. I'll take it. And then we had a conversation, and I just realized that he was very serious about doing this, and we talked, price and went back and forth on that. But this building was one of a number of bank buildings that were closed and were sold in lot, and the people who bought it for a very low cost. So we managed to get Sam a very good price on the building, and this was the beginning. And it was a very difficult project for him. He did a lot of work, brought a lot of Albanian people in to help him on the construction, set up his own companies to continue to develop that. And now he has a building with 40 apartments and a nice restaurant, all here. And this corner of our city, where this building sits, was probably vacant for almost 15 years. So he's turned that around and has created a very positive impact on our downtown Wilkes Barre. And other projects I've worked with Sam on, and his character, he liked to do projects that nobody else wanted to do, which I always found that really interesting because I love doing that kind of work. I think it's fascinating because if you're creative, you have a creative mind, you can do some very beautiful things with properties that people might discard. So his next building that he purchased with me was a church and a school. The church was closed, and it was a beautiful, beautiful building, a lot of nice architecture, and the school directly adjacent to it. We bought that from the Catholic Diocese in Scranton, and from there he went ahead and put apartments in the building. And I believe he has 30 or so apartments in there. But in the church, which was it was a challenge, that one, in terms of what do you do with a church, a Gothic church with tall ceilings and all that. Well, at the time, he found an artist in New Jersey who moved his art gallery, and he's an Albanian gentleman, very nice man. Unfortunately, he's since passed because of COVID. But in any case, he set up an art gallery here. He engaged the community. He invited the neighbors in. You know, it was turning out to just be a beautiful development. And then he passed, and Sam helped his widow out. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about something, but
Yes.
he purchased the artwork from the widow to help her out. Then he went about trying to find somebody else who could come in and do something with the church property. And since it was a church, we had to make sure that we put the right kind of use in there. We just couldn't do a nightclub or something. So he found another Albanian developer out of New York to come in and take that building, and now they're looking at putting in apartments in there as well. We're building a whole second floor and putting in multiple units. Part of what I'm saying here is that there are plenty of opportunities if you're willing to be creative. Some people look for the kind of deals that are slam dunks, and you know, there's some of them out there, but not a lot. And what Sam has done with the church and the school and this building, he's tackled projects and buildings and properties that other people would not do. So my third project with him was a property where actually he lives right now in the borough of Kingston, which is just across the river from Wilkes Barre. And that was an old industrial complex. It was, I believe it was a lace manufacturer. And there you had the large gable roofs, industrial building types, and then there was a multiple story building behind it that was all vacant. And it was becoming a blight on the community, quite frankly. And you know, a lot of people were debating, you know, do we tear it down and how much it would cost to tear it down, all this sort of stuff. So then I got a call from Sam one day, and he said, I'd like to take a look at this building. And I just happened to have it listed. It was the property I was trying to sell. So we took him through there, and it was another one of those kind of projects that you scratch your head and say, really? Is this something you want to try to do? And what he did was he went in where they had the large high ceiling roofs on this industrial part of the building and put a second story in, and he put a whole series of townhomes. And I'm thinking, is this how the Europeans think? Because if they do, I like the way they think. Because it's you know, why destroy a building if you have another way of doing adaptive reuse of that building? So he went and built a whole series of townhomes, you know, just very spacious apartments. He priced them right, and it was leased before he was done with construction. So people here are craving good housing, interesting housing, and we have a plethora of older housing stock in this community. It's an older. This community is about 200 years old, and a lot of this housing stock here is probably could be anywhere from 75 to 125 years old. So a lot of it needs work. And I know that a lot of the people that have come from Albania that have kind of had like a seminar with Sam. Sam will sit down and talk to him. He doesn't want to do everything for himself. He wants a lot of the Albanian people that come over to become self-sufficient in their own right, and he'll provide them with as much technical support that he can, and any other kind of support that that he offers. And I found that there were times when I first met with Sam, and he'd meet with the Albanian community. It was like 4 or 5 people. We get together and have lunch. Now it's like you go over there, there's like 80 people, and for a luncheon meeting, all talking in Albanian, and maybe with a dummy here that doesn't understand Albanian, which I assume will, would listen and just just watch all the young people and how enthusiastic they are about finding economic opportunities. And so you know, Hysni Syla has made a difference in his community, and I hope that sometime in the near future I'm going to nominate him for an award from our local Chamber of Commerce for all that he's accomplished, because I think singularly he's done more in the downtown of Wilkes Barre than anybody else. So I know from a real estate standpoint, if I get an opportunity to work with somebody from the outside that comes in with a fresh set of eyes and can look at this community in a different way than the locals look at it, that I always welcome that. And I cherish my relationship with Sam and many of the people in the Albanian community here today.
And I spoke to Mr. Syla earlier, and he appreciates what you did for him. Can you, if we are allowed to talk about numbers, how did you drop the price and making it possible for him by losing your benefit, your commission, and dropping the price and giving him such a good deal in the first deal?
Well, let me tell you, I have multiple objectives here. Number one, when I was with the Wilkes Barre Chamber of Commerce, I dedicated almost 20 years of my life to trying to improve the community, and I want good things to happen to it. You know, I love the people, I love the community. It's a very good place to raise a family. I raised my family here, and I grew up here. So that's the first. And then when I met Sam, you know, my initial feelings towards him was that this guy is very sincere about doing something good for this community. And then the owner of the building was really, you know, he had very little interest in Wilkes Barre or the building. He was from another state, and I knew he was asking too much for the building. It was ridiculous. I told him, I said, 5 years I've been trying to sell this building, and you're not budging on price. I said, if I were you, I would take whatever offer you can get, and just wash your hands of it, because he owed money to the utility companies, he owed money taxes, and all bunch of things. It was just a problem. So I made that case to him, and convinced him to get a reasonable price to get this off his back. And you know, and unfortunately, I guess I was convincing enough to do that, and Sam was right there, ready to go with this thing, and said, I'll close very quickly on this if we can get in. And so we had a quick close, a very quick closing, and the seller was happy, Sam was happy, everybody was happy. And as far as me trying to get, I don't need to make big commissions on properties. It's especially ones that I think benefit the community. Because my first priority, I mean, it's supporting my family, obviously, but the community is very important to me. And if I can get a new investor in this community, I'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. And we did. And so, and then from there we developed a great relationship.
Ku kam marrë si gjithë tjerët në për restorante, paka shumë, për një diku deri 6 vite kam punu, besoj, në restorante, pastaj deri sa dolëm fushën tjetër, të real estate-it, ndërtimit, construction, e tani vazhdoj me këtë. Si kalova nga restorantin këtë fushën tjetër, duke parë shqiptarët e tjerë këtu që po merreshin me ndërtim, me shtëpia, me shitblerje, pam edhe shembullin e Semit, edhe pse jo, pse mos ta bëshim dhe ne. Edhe fija nisa, kam një 2-3 vite tani me këtë, edhe shumë herë më mirë se me restorantin, opinioni im, besoj, edhe nuk është punë e keqe. Kur kemi ardhur këtu nuk është se kemi pas njeri, vete kemi fillu, kemi pas ndihmë më shumë si shqiptarë që ndihmojmë njëri tjetrin, një shtys. Po shtëpinë e parë që e kam bleka që në 2021-shin, ka qenë e para 4 vitesh, tani total me units, besoj janë diku tek 12 deri në 13, ka qenë pak e vështirë në fillim, po kur e nis me kom të marë, tani e mbajmë të punu, të jetë në kokë punës, Shumicën e shtëpive të gjitha janë në gjendje jo daisht mirë, normal. I blejmë në gjendje të keqe, i rregullojmë, disa i shesim, disa i mbajmë nxjerrim me qira, varet si t'ja vlejmë më shumë. Tregu është në rritje. Me bë compare me couple years ago është definitivisht në rritje, goxha, sa vjen edhe rriten. Këshill me ul kokën me punu fort edhe doja dalin një ditë nëse punojnë. Çdo gjë arrihet me punë.
Emri im është Baki Kurtulli, kam jetuar për 14 vite në New York, prej vitit 2023 jetoj në Pennsylvania, edhe këtu është një jetë shumë e qetë, me krahasu me jetën e New Yorkut. Kam biznesin tim, bëj air condition heating and cooling. Merrem pak edhe me real estate, kam arritë të kem 5 shtëpia të mijat në Matamoros, Pennsylvania, në Scranton, në Woodland, PA. Kështu, jetë shumë e mirë, është jetë e qetë, i sugjeroj të gjithë njerëzit, kush ka dëshirë të vjen, është një vend ideal të investojnë në Pennsylvania, në varet prej zonave, po sigurisht këtë vend këtu Wilkes Barre është një vend i mirë për me investue. Po, këtu është një vend i mirë të investosh, këtu njerëzit janë disa familje shqiptare që merren kryesisht me restorante edhe me ndërtim, me real estate, është edhe ky pronari i këtij vendit këtu, si Doja. Mendoj se ai ka bën një gjest shumë të mirë, se ka ardhur i pari dhe mendoj edhe i ftoj që të gjithë njerëzit që duin me orë me investue, është një vend ideal për me investue në Pennsylvania dhe me një hapat të Dojës edhe të bëjmë një komunitet më të fortë, më të qëndrueshëm për komunitetin tonë shqiptar. Po unë për besë nuk kam besu që ka atë shumë shqiptar, edhe jam shumë i befasuar se sa shqiptar ka në këtë vend.
Quhem Fadir Rezepi, vi prej Kosovës, prej Ferizajës, Sojevës, kurse këtu në New Jersey të Shteteve Bashkuara të Amerikës. Kurse këtu në Wilkes Barre, përmes një shokut tim Ramadan Hoti, kam pas kontakte dhe jemi takuar me Hysni Sylën, si që quajmë Dajën. Edhe këtu ka pas disa shqiptar më pak herën e kaluar, kurse me ndihmën e Hysni Sylës, këtu është bërë një komunitet jashtëzakonisht tash i gjerë, jemi mbi afër 100 komunitetit shqiptar. Më parë tu kanë qenë vetëm 2-3 persona, Hysniu me ca shok që kanë pas këtu pizzeria ose restorante, kurse tash jemi mbi 100 familje këtu. Edhe unë përndryshe kam punuar në New Jersey, në shumë restorante shqiptare, po me klientelë amerikane, dhe më ka dhënë rastin tash të zoti Hysni Syla, që t'jam pronari këtij lokali këtu të bukur, dhe kemi filluar punën me 1 maj këtu në Wilkes Barre, në këtë restoranin Wilkes Barre and Grill. Si komunitet shqiptar janë shumë të lidhur në mes veti, sepse janë 100 këta, të gjithë janë si familjar, të gjithë janë ardhur një pas një zinxhir. Edhe që të gjithë këta i ka sjell zoti Hysni Syla me veprimtarinë dhe punën e tina. Këta mirën të gjithë me punën e ndërtimtarisë edhe me restorantet gastronomisë, shumica prej tyre, dhe janë shumë të suksesshëm këtu në Wilkes Barre, Pennsylvania. Me të thënë drejtën, mesazhi im për të gjithë shqiptarët, shumica gjenden në bronz dhe kam dëgjuar se kohën e fundit nuk kanë punë të mjaftueshme. Unë i kisha ftuar që të gjithë që të kontaktojnë me ne në këtë pjesën e Wilkes Barre, Pennsylvania. Ne kemi punë këtu me Hysni Sylën edhe në ndërtimtari dhe ne gjithmonë kemi, po du me thonë, kemi zgjidhje për ta edhe në ndërtimtari edhe në gastronomi. Do të thotë çdo ditë kërkojmë punëtor të ri këtu. Jemi njoftur në memorialin e vëllezërve Betyqi, që Hysni Syla është organizator dhe i majmë çdo vjet, dhe herën e parë para 2 vite kemi qenë së bashku dhe aty kemi pas kontaktin e parë, edhe kam dëgjuar edhe më parë që kanë qenë në grupin e Atlantikut, që janë pjesëmarrës të ushtrisë lirëtare të Kosovës, dhe pastaj prej aty Ramadan Hoti është një luftëtar, ish luftëtar i ushtrisë lirëtare të Kosovës, dhe vëllai i dëshmorit e ka Haxhi Hotin, vëlla dëshmor i komit në ushtrisë lirëtare, komandant Leshi, dhe përmes Danit jemi njoftu dhe pastaj kemi marrë kontakte dhe jemi ardhur këtu në Wilkes Barre. Më kanë njoftu se i ka disa kompani, si edhe ka një building, apo si që quajmë një pronë të restorantit, dhe unë i kam përvojnë këtë dhe kam qenë në New Jersey. New Jersey është shumë i gjanë, por do të thotë dhe vendosa me ardhur. Unë kam përvojë edhe në Zvicër dhe 20 vite në Gjermani, pastaj në Ferizaj, kështu që mi Petrasi edhe me përshëndet kryetarin e Ferizajt, mikun tim Agim Aliun, edhe shqiptarëve në Shtetet e Bashkuara të Amerikës ka mesazhin që të jenë së bashku dhe të ndihmojnë njëri tjetrit, siç i kanë ndihmuar në Ushtrinë Shqiptare të Kosovës Hysni Syla, ashtu edhe tani po na ndihmon edhe në lirin, po edhe në komunitetin tonë në Shtetet e Bashkuara të Amerikës.
Faleminderit.
Me nderëqofshi, faleminderit edhe juve.
My family came into Wilkes Barre in the 1720s when King George III gave northeast Pennsylvania to Connecticut, the colony of Connecticut. So they came in with the Connecticut settlers. So my family's been here since then. They had established a farm in Wilkes Barre. When you go down on the one side of town, which is South Wilkes-Barre, that used to be called the Carey Patch, which was where the family farm was. And so Carey Avenue, which goes through that area, is named after our family. So yeah, the mines in Wilkes-Barre were anthracite coal, hard coal. It was a very huge, large industry that was occurred. And yes, back in the 1730s, or 1930s, excuse me, there was 80-some thousand people here. In the 1950s, the coal mining companies got greedy and they mined too close to the bed of the river. And the river at Knox, the Knox mine disaster, collapsed. The roof of the mine collapsed and the river drained into the mine. And that day, back in, I think it was 1958, completely shut down the mining industry in northeast Pennsylvania, in Wilkes-Barre. As a result of the mining industry being shut down, the population started to decline because the miners were out of jobs. They ended up, leaving. Their families were leaving and moving, and we've had this depression in the area since then, where it's been very difficult to get industry to come into the valley since that time. So you're looking at a decline over the last 60 years that the population has went from a high water mark of about 86,000 people down to what we're at now. What Wilkes-Barre is like 43,000 now. 1972, tropical storm or Hurricane Agnes came through in June 23rd, 1972. The river breached the levees here, and it flooded. It crested at around 41 feet. So when you think about that, 41 feet is pretty high. The house that I live in South Wilkes-Barre, had 4 feet of water on the second floor. So when you look at that, you're looking at 13 feet above the ground level, second floor of the house, we had water in. Most of the people of my generation who grew up and lived through that flood, we relate everything before the flood and after the flood. The flood was devastating. It wiped out all of downtown here. where it was completely and totally flooded. This is when we were established with what was called the Valley with a Heart, because they rallied around the community, they worked together and to rebuild Wilkes-Barre, to rebuild the surrounding communities. And it was just a really difficult time, at that point in time. But we've rebounded with that, and so there was quite a few hotels. For instance, across the street from the restaurant here that we're at is a big empty lot. That used to be the Sterling Hotel, and the Sterling Hotel was torn down because it had gotten damaged in the flood of 2011. 2011, the levee here did not breach, but water was coming underneath the floodgate, and it penetrated the basement of the Sterling Hotel, and it damaged it, and so they had to tear the building. They ended up tearing the building down. That's what that lot is, and so that's been vacant for quite some time. And I know that there was trying to get that to be built into a hotel/resort center, and that's taken a long time for that to come through. We need revitalization like this. The section of Public Square where they're going to put this hotel and convention center, the building that's there was built after the '72 flood. All of that entire corner of the square was devastated from the flood, and they tore all those buildings down, and then they built these buildings here, and they were office buildings. But they're office buildings, they don't bring in real revenue and income to the area. With a hotel, now this becomes a center for people to come visit Wilkes-Barre. It will draw more business in having a hotel like this, and it's looking at the footprint that they showed on the news and what they announced about it on the news and the rate that this project is going to take off with, I think they said construction starting the end of this year, and they said they should have this opened up by the end of 2026. That's a phenomenal thing to say. So I think it's great to have a convention center like this coming to town. It will help bring in business. It'll help. It's going to create jobs, more than the construction jobs. You're going to have hotel workers, restaurant workers, resort workers, and I think it's an excellent thing for the community and just Northeast Pennsylvania in general. It will help the unemployment rate. It will definitely help lower that. You're not looking at tens of thousands of new jobs. You're looking at a couple hundred new jobs, but still, a couple hundred new jobs in a hotel resort, bringing people in to visit the area. And with those people coming in will be people who are entrepreneurs who will be wanting to start businesses, and they'll look at it and they'll see Wilkes-Barre as a thriving community. They'll possibly want to move their business here. I think that's a great thing. And when you have entrepreneurs who have an idea like this, and the fact that these same entrepreneurs have established restaurants here in the city that are jewels. I mean, to have a restaurant like the one we're sitting in now, and there's another restaurant on Public Square, to have these great restaurants, and along with, in conjunction with entertainment centers like the Kirby Center, and then a new hotel and convention center, it's a go-to place. And again, like I said, it'll help bring people into the valley.
I feel it's a very family-oriented place. There's generation upon generation that have stayed here. And like my husband had mentioned, this new hotel, we do have two institutes of higher learning here, Wilkes University and King's College. And this hotel will be located centrally to both of those institutions. And that can only help when parents want to come to the town to see their children. It's a very, very convenient place to stay, within walking distance, really, to both of them. So I do think that this could only help the area. You have a lot of children, young adults, that do come to study at Wilkes and King's. There are a lot of them from New York and New Jersey. And where would the parents stay? Because now they could just stay right on the square and they could investigate the city of Wilkes Barre, because the city of Wilkes Barre, if you look at pictures from back in the day, that square used to be shoulder to shoulder people. It used to be crowded. I know when I was a little girl, my mother used to say, we're going to go to town on Saturday. And there were a lot of department stores down here. There used to be like a gourmet grocery store downtown. I would like to see that all come back, all those individual kind of stores rather than a big chain store.
Jam Djelza Kolgeci, ju përshëndes nga New Yorku, nëpërmes televizionit më të mirë shqiptar këto New York, Albanian American Vision.
Në Wilkes Barre, në këtë qytet shumë interesant, ka një komunitet të vogël shqiptar, por që është në rritje e sipër, janë përmbi 100 shqiptar, por jo të gjithë vetëm thjesht punëtor, por janë shumica biznesmen të dalluar në këtë qytet. Shqiptari i parë që ka ardhur në Wilkes Barre është Qemal Ahmeti nga vutha i Plavë Gusis. Qemal, faleminderit për kohën që gjetet bisedosh me neve.
Faleminderit edhe për juve për ftesë dhe për vizitën që na bënt.
Është shumë interesant kur bisedova me shumë qytetarë këtu, me njerëz që me aktivist, e po ashtu edhe me shqiptar, e përmendin emrin tënd. Si pikë e parë, si pikë orientuese. Na trego pak për historinë se si ke ardhur ti në Wilkes Barre.
Po tash, mas disa viteve se qëndruam në New Jersey, shitëm restoranin atje për arsye se për ditë na ikshin musafirt. Ku po shkoni? Po shkojmë në Pennsylvani. Kështu si filloi ajo, fillova me hulumtu edhe unë, pse po shkojnë këta në Pennsylvani, edhe gradualisht erdha edhe vetë. Në 2007 kem ardhur me vllaun e madh të ndjer tani Ahmet Ahmetaj, ka vdekur në 2008 nga një smuje pa shërueshme. Edhe mas një vitit na u bashkangjitet edhe vllau i vogël Shefqeti, Bruno e njohin këtu. Edhe që tash bëhen ngusht 18 vite si që jam këtu domethënë. Kem hap restoran, i kom prunë 2-3 shqiptar punëtor, nipin e gruas, nipin timin, edhe familja ime gosht kanë kënë shqiptar, ku kusht tjetër. Si fillim.
Ishit shqiptarët e parë në këtë qytet?
Po, shqiptarët e parë në këtë qytet. Masanej vishin djemë të ri pej Kosovë dhe pej Shqipëri, nejse edhe i merrshan puna, kupton, edhe do kanë qëndrua këtu, hala kanë ecë me biznes, me punë, do kanë ikë mrapa ka New Yorku, New Jersey, po kryesisht na jem të partë.
Ke mundësi me na tregu pak historinë e Hysni Sylës, Sami që e quajnë këtu, sepse sot bëri histori në këtë qytet duke marrë një grant prej $10 milion, duke e marrë përsi për renovimin e një ndërtese që do ta kthejnë në një hotel luksoz. Ai flet shumë për ty dhe thot se është Qemal Ahmeti dhe vëllezërit e tij që më kanë bërë të vinë në këtë vend. Si ndodhi kjo?
Tash Daja erdhë për një vizit, se kem njoft Dajën gjatë lufte, kur vike o plagos disa herë, vike për shërim, jem takuar disa herë, dhe mas lufte atër erdhë ka punu me neve disa kohë, jem unu minimu ka pak, mas mundësive tona, edhe na i kem knejna, a i shkojnë Filadelfi dhe nuk u pame për shumë koha. Kupton, u shishim, po jo për ditë edhin. Një ditë e bje rruga knej, thot du me dalë me hangri dark, me nej, me i vizitua shokët e vjetër, edhe ajo ditë ke vendimtare për Dajën, erdhë, e pa për të parë në herë qytetin, e pa perspektiven, e pa qka mundet mu ba këto, kupton, për investimi ishën pyetje, edhe në u bashkangjit Daja. Edhe gradualisht kem edhe tjerë si kanë ardhur mas Daje, po Daja rastisht erdhë me na vizitu neve, edhe fati e deshti si me të këtu Daja.
Me thënë, prej jush doli dhe bëri biznes?
Po, e vërtet është.
Kishte janë krejtë rasti kjo, ai nuk e ka ditë që do të vi për të jetuar këtu?
Ja, erdhë rastisht, për vizite erdhë edhe po tash I ki disa oferta me shita që ka pasuninë në Filadelfi, edhe kur e pa venin këtu, aty ju mushmenja, kupton, përfundoi gjithë shka, tha, unë do mi shit ton që ka në Filadelfi dhe do vi këtu. Edhe ndodhi.
Çka do t'ju kishe thënë shqiptarëve të Amerikës që i kenë dikun rreth gjysmë milioni shqiptarë të Amerikës janë, po shumica, një numër shumë i madh prej tyre jetojnë në qytete të mëdha, harxojnë shumë, punojnë shumë dhe nuk ju mbetet shumë pasuri, nuk mund të investojnë dikënd. Çka do t'ju kishe sugjeruar të shqiptarëve, atyre që janë të interesuar të investojnë në këtë vend?
Po tash me fol pe i veti mas parit, me pa qëndruar New York, në kur s'kisha mujt me kanë ku jam tash. A kupton se me siguri nështë të ardhunat janë më të mira, po ke shpenzime, më të mëdha edhe se nuk mune me ardhej të një, është shumë vështirë me ardhej, mune po është shumë vështirë me ardhej të një pasuni. Kurse në këto qytetet e vogla, mundësia është me lehtë me depërtua, kupton? Ja fillon me një të vogël edhe po dite mune me ecë edhe me përparuaj.
Si e komenton një sot qëndrimin, domethënë deklarimin e majorit Brown që i dha një projekt shumë të rëndësishëm Hysni Sylës, një investitori shqiptar-amerikan që jeton këtu e që ka ardhur përmes teje?
Po tash doja është këtu që janë përmi 8 vjet, 9 vjet mos gabofsha, edhe e njohin shumë mirë dajën. E është i sprovuam thujti, e din mirë, për ata edhe ja kanë dhonë këtë mundësi se e ka kallëzo vetën doja, kupton, disa ndërtesa, e ka bëjë ndërtesë vetën, i kemë bëjë 2 ndërtesa bashkë me dajën, me vllahun, edhe ka disa bizniset vogla për rreth, kështu si e din ata mirë se kush është doja dhe mundësit, kupton, kapaciteti.
Edhe ju besoni plotësisht që është ka me dalë me sukses ky projekt?
Po, patjetër. E ka kallëzuar veten në disa raste, kupton.
Faleminderit shumë, ishte me neve Qemal Ahmetaj, një shqiptar i cili është i pari që erdhi në këtë vend dhe filloi të investoj. Po pas tij erdhen edhe të paktën 100 shqiptar tjerë dhe të gjithë me ëndrrën që të investojnë, po ashtu të jenë suksesshëm si Qemali. Faleminderit shumë për kohën.
I mirë presim edhe tjerë, po erdhen, po kem kënaqësi sa më shumë më rrit komuniteti. Po, edhe mezi presim kur marrim vesh si ka ardhur një shqiptar i ri, edhe gjithë bashkohem edhe me për krah sa të mundim, po, me siguri. Faleminderit edhe për juve që na dhat këtë mundësi. Faleminderit për vizitën.
Faleminderit shumë. George, we saw today the project that has been announced by Mayor Brown. So can you talk to me a little bit about that project?
Yes, absolutely. So this project has been in the making for over 6 years. And this has been a goal of the city of Wilkes Barre to achieve and accommodate a new nationally flagged hotel for many, many years. The challenge in our area, in this city specifically, is our average median income is a lot lower than other parts of the country. We have a large population of senior citizens, retired folks, so it's very hard to entice businesses to relocate. It's hard to entice investment in our area. So in this particular case, we ran into a situation after COVID where we encountered a problem with the hospitality industry specifically, and it was a very hard industry to bring back after COVID. So when we started embarking on this process, the hotel industry was very shy about getting back into new business and new developments. So what we ended up doing in this particular case, in this immediate project that we're talking about today, is we found that finding an existing empty building was an easier solution than developing a whole new empty tract of land and building new construction. And obviously for many reasons that makes a lot of sense. And in this particular case, because the city wanted to partner up with our team as developers, along with Sam, this was the easiest and most quickest solution to the challenge that we faced. So we just happened to be lucky on timing with this particular project, and there's several empty office buildings downtown in Wilkes Barre, several. and I say several, probably 5, 6, 7, 8 large empty office buildings that we have to repurpose. So that was immediately our goal, was to find something that we could make work for the hotel and repurpose a building. So ironically, only 4 weeks ago, the property that we're working on right now was going up for auction at a real estate. It's empty. There's only 1 or 2 small tenants in there. And we pursued that, and we were able to negotiate a deal with the owner to take it off the auction and buy it directly. So in doing so, we were able to acquire a property at a very, very reasonable price. That price is less than $20 a square foot. And you know, the price points in the area for empty buildings are between $20 and $30 a square foot. Great building, great bones, good structure. And it turned a project that would have been a project in the red, a project hard to make money on, into now a profitable project for everybody involved. The city's going to benefit, the development team's going to benefit, and the owners are going to benefit as well. This particular development that was announced today for the 110-room hotel and banquet facility, this was started 6 weeks ago, from its inception, 6 weeks. So the mayor of Wilkes Barre had tasked us with getting this project back online. And we immediately had a meeting with our state representatives, our senators, city administration, the mayor, and we said, here's what we have to do. We're ready to go. And everybody as a team decided they were going to work together to accomplish that goal. So in 6 weeks' time, we closed on the real estate, we secured our funding, we secured grants for the project, and now all we need to do is apply for building permits once our architectural drawings are prepared to start construction. Versus building new, you have to go through a whole set of different permitting and planning. It takes a long time. But ironically, the difference between the two projects on new development and new construction versus renovating an existing building is magnanimous. It's huge. So you're talking a cost of essentially over $400 a square foot for new construction, minimum, in Wilkes Barre City, versus renovation at $150 a square foot. So it took a project that was dead in the water to now a successful real estate model. You know, Wilkes Barre is a hidden gem for investment. If you're savvy, if you're a hard worker, if you're smart, and you have the funds to invest, Wilkes Barre is a prime opportunity, particularly the downtown area. As I mentioned, a lot of buildings are empty from COVID. All the offices are working remotely. So we have all these empty office buildings that are available to acquire and to repurpose. The challenge is coming up with a creative idea, such as ours with the hotel, or some other use to redevelop these properties. But the real estate assets in Wilkes Barre are abound. There's plenty of opportunities for people to come in and buy and then redevelop these properties for a functional purpose in the future.
Thank you for your time, George.
Anytime. It's a pleasure. It was a pleasure. I'm glad you guys came down.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
wonderful seeing you. It's a pleasure.
Janë bërë një 4 vjet, 3 vjet, 4 vjet, që unë kam ardhur këtu, edhe tashi kam një 3 investime që kam bërë. Sot jemi mbledh për Hysniu, jam shumë i gëzuar që Hysniu, domethënë mundi me bë closing për hotelin, do jetë një feature e shtuar e këtij qyteti. Tashi këtu jemi bërë një komunitet goxha i madh shqiptarësh, domethënë fal Hysnis, më duket se janë diku nga 60-70 familje që kanë ardhur këtu, kanë investuar, kanë kriju jetën këtu. So, edhe sonde jemi mbledh për Hysniun, edhe secili është shumë i gëzuar për Hysniun.
Sigurisht ju e dini projektin që sot u miratua edhe që e paraqiti Majori Brown. So si e komentoni ju?
Po, projekti Hysnis, me sa di unë, nuk i di shumë detajet, po e di që ka për të pas, do t'jetë Hyatt Hotel, edhe ka për të pas disa, duket rreth 100-120 dhoma, nuk jam i sigurt. Edhe është mu në circle, në qendër qytetit, në rrethorin e qytetit, edhe është një gjë shumë e madhe edhe për Wilkes Barre, po kryesisht për komunitetin shqiptar, të vogël që është këtu, është gjë shumë e madhe. Unë jam mirëprit shumë mirë, sepse kur kemi ardhur këtu kemi gjetë diket, domethënë ka qenë Hysniu, kanë qenë Bruno, Shefqeti, që kanë pas kriju një emër, si njerëz punëtor, me restorante, me shërbim shumë të mirë, me emër shumë të mirë, edhe normalisht, domethënë, ne jemi bërë pasardhësit e tyre, kemi bërë të njëjtën gjë, nën këshillat e tyre dhe kemi emër shumë të mirë. Hajde një sa më shumë edhe sa më shpejt, para se me fillu me u ngrit çmimet. Po yes, është vend shumë i mirë për të investuar. Është vend shumë i mirë. Mua më ka dalë shumë mirë.
Faleminderit Nikolin.
S'ka përse, faleminderit ju.
Në gjatë jenë nga shqiptarët që ke ardhë nga New Yorku në Pennsylvania. Si po duket kënej?
Vallahi duket që me kanë trëpoj.
Male shumë?
Male shumë, njerëz të mirë. Une kam ardhë aksidentalisht të me taku dajnë tëm, Dajokin i thëmë, Hysni Sylën, e kam pas komandant. Edhe më thot është një building, qështu, i thëmë, daj, kam qef me pa, jem kanë bashkë me Nikolinin atë natë, edhe, tha ta shëshvon, i shua 11 natës. Kur dalë jashtë, i thëmë Niko, se e marrim bashkë, tha jo, tha, se më thot në zjatë. Tha, jo, tha, nuk e marrim bashkë, për në kohë se mërë ti, tha, e marrën. Tha, shokej në regull, tha, për kështu atër për e marrën. Edhe jam ardhë, e kem pas, a jam fut aty mrenda, që janë kanë do ofise, aty jam hi, i kam thënë Marcellos, edhe ati në Amerikanit, thash, this is my. Tha, you are sure, thash, yes, this is my. Ka qenë fabrik, lastyki, elastic factory, tash e kam nëshuar me zonin, nga commercial, është bërë residential, kam marrë zonin me 27 apartamente, 37 parkingje, edhe public laundry. Kam marru 4 apartamente, i kam rentu tashi, i dedikohem shumë. Dajokit, Hysni Sylës, shpirti i madhe tina, fisnikëria tina, a i ka pas mundësi mi a dhënë gjithkuj. Po, mu më ka dhënë, tha, jem ka të epë ty, tha se i arë me luftu për Kosovë. Thash, nuk jem ke e du. Tha, ti e ke e mërë, tha, edhe pik. Dhe me thënë, në njërë shreshnore, dhe me thënë, atë humorin e komandantit dhe të ushtarit. Jam shumë i knaqun, si Dajoki ka hecë, tanë shqiptarit i ka një mu këtu, dhe vazhdo me në një mu, në gjdo lloj aspekti. Tashi, sonte jem lidhë, sepse ka marrë një hotel fantastik, mund që janë dhe Wilkes Barre-it, dhe do jetë një gjëvahir i bukur për shqiptarët dhe për krejtë Wilkes Barre në Kingstonin e komunitetin këtu. Jem shumë familje, shqiptare, e kalojmë shumë mirë, e dojmë një tjetër, e ndihmojmë. Ashtu si që ka bërë Dajoki, kur kanë organizu batalioni Atlantikit, me atë butësin, me atë qiltërsin, me atë ngrësin, me shpirtin, me tolerancën, e tina e ka kriju një harmoni këtu. Dhe i dedikohem shumë. Çdo kush që ka ardhur këtu, është ardhur në sajt Dajokit Hysni Syla. Une më tha, me dhanë një intervist. Une jam i kënaqur kur e jep një intervist për televizorin tonë Qaz, sepse kem kosi si në takuë, por aq më fort me fol për Hysni Sylën, një njeri që është model i një komandanti të UÇK-së, i vetmi komandant që s'ka pas as shoqërus me veti, as ka pranuar spihuna, dhe ka një but dhe tolerancë e tina, dhe shpirti i madh i tina, dhe shpirtësia jatina ne ka bën që bataljoni Atlantikit me kanë autoritet. Po mos ishte Hysni Syla, organizatori i këtij bataljoni, nuk do kishim atë emër që ka bataljoni Atlantik. Pra, du me thonë që roli i individit në shoqëri është shumë i madh, e sidomos i komandantit tim Hysni Syla. Tash këtu kanë ardhur shumë njerëz. Çdo kush është më i suksesshëm se tjetri. Dikush ecë më shpejt, dikush më avash, por komuniteti është unik në sajet Dajokit, Hysni Syla. Unë shiko, kjo ka qenë gëzim i madh për mua. Se Dajokin e kam shpirt, e kam gjën, dhe kam stres me një pjesë tjetër, një hoteli këtu, dhe e takova dje, erte buildingi jem dhe e takova, dhe ato mirësi që i ka bën luft, ato mirësi që i ka bën komunitetin shqiptar këtu, e kanë ndihmuar për me dal nga situata. Zoti të ndihmon kur bën mirë. Zoti të ndihmon kur ti je i çiltër dhe je i pastër me shoqërinë, me njerëzit që të rrethojnë. Dhe gjithkush atë turon. Kur njerëzit turojnë gjithkush, ato bën shumë urime dhe e çon te suksesi, siç e ka thënë sot në firmosin, janë 170 dhoma që do bëhen. Plus territorin që e ka, 100 parkingje, është një mrekulli. Është një pronë që ka me apahin edhe Kosova, sepse Dajoki është patriot, ka me investu edhe në Kosovë, ashtu që ka me investu edhe në Tiranë, e ke parasysh. E pra, sa ma shumë të fuqizosh ekonomikisht, aq ma shumë e një ma kombin tënë edhe popullin tënë. Edhe besoj që kanë me apahin, do me thënë, si Shqipëria, si kohë se tash jem një, do me thënë, s'ka vit ndarëse, si që nuk ka pas kur, edhe të falenderoj shumë për këtë intervist qas.
Shumë vite, është gati 2 dekada u të kumë prapë shokteshëm, edhe gëzohem shumë.
Edhe unë gëzohem, Zotit bekoft ty, familjen tënë dhe kushta dasht mirë. Zotit e bekoft edhe Dajokin tëm, Hysni Sylën, ja dash Zotit marën, çdo gjë që mund të jetë urimi më i madh dhe më, që e meriton një person, e meriton Hysni Syla. Gëzuar Dajok.
Faleminderit, faleminderit.